Many women notice that after age 30, one small issue rarely comes alone. Low energy connects to sleep problems. Mood shifts affect weight. Stress shows up everywhere at once. This can feel confusing, especially when you're told each symptom is separate. But hormonally, it's not separate at all. It's system-based. Your body is guided by the endocrine system, a network of organs that includes the hypothalamus, pituitary, thyroid, adrenal glands, and ovaries. These organs don't work in isolation. They constantly communicate to control energy, stress response, metabolism, mood, sleep, and recovery. After 30, this system becomes more sensitive to stress, routine changes, and daily rhythm, which is why hormonal effects feel stronger even when tests look normal. In this video, you'll learn how the endocrine system works as a team, how hormones communicate, and how this coordination shows up in real-life symptoms. The endocrine system. Why your body works as a team, not parts. No hormone works alone, and no symptom has a single cause. Many women are taught to look at their body in pieces. One symptom, one organ, one solution. But hormones don't work that way. If your sleep is off, your energy, mood, and weight often follow. If stress is high, digestion, cycles, and focus feel different too. This happens because hormones are part of a connected system, not independent switches. That system is called the endocrine system. What the endocrine system actually is. The endocrine system is a network of organs that produce hormones and release them into the bloodstream. These hormones act as messengers, telling different parts of the body how to behave. The key thing to understand is this: every endocrine organ listens to the others. For women, the most influential endocrine organs include hypothalamus, pituitary gland, thyroid gland, adrenal glands, ovaries. When one part changes, the others adjust automatically. Why this system feels more noticeable after 30. After age 30, the endocrine system doesn't stop working, it becomes more sensitive. Years of stress, sleep disruption, dieting, pregnancy, emotional load, and busy routines reduce the system's tolerance for chaos. This means hormones react faster to stress. Recovery takes longer. Small disruptions create bigger effects. That's why symptoms after 30 often feel layered instead of isolated. Hormones as messengers, not controllers. Hormones don't cause problems on their own. They respond to signals. The endocrine system is constantly asking, is energy available? Is it safe to rest? Is stress temporary or ongoing? Do we need to protect or rebuild? Based on these answers, hormones adjust behavior across the body. This is why emotional stress can affect digestion, sleep can affect weight, and skipped meals can affect mood. Why one hormone issue rarely stays in one place. If cortisol from the adrenal glands stays high, it affects how the thyroid uses energy. If thyroid signaling shifts, it affects how the ovaries regulate estrogen and progesterone. If ovarian hormones fluctuate, the brain adjusts its signals in response. This is not dysfunction, it's coordination. Why fixing one hormone often doesn't work. Many women are told to focus on one hormone. It's your thyroid. It's low progesterone. It's estrogen imbalance. But hormones don't work in isolation. Supporting one gland without supporting the system often leads to temporary or incomplete results. After 30, the body prioritizes system balance, not individual hormone optimization. Why doctors often miss the team effect. Medical care often separates the body into specialties. Endocrine coordination doesn't always show clearly in labs, especially when hormone levels are technically normal. What's often missed is how well the organs are communicating, not whether they exist or function at all. What your body is actually asking for. When symptoms appear across multiple areas, the body isn't asking for force, it's asking for consistent routines, predictable nourishment, stress reduction, adequate recovery. These are the signals the endocrine system uses to rebalance itself. The endocrine system works as a team, not a collection of parts. After 30, this team becomes more sensitive to daily life signals. Understanding hormones as a coordinated system, not isolated problems, is the first step toward making sense of symptoms and supporting your body in a calmer, more effective way. The brain's control centers, hypothalamus and pituitary. Your hormones start in your brain, not your ovaries. When hormone symptoms show up, many women immediately think of the ovaries. But hormonally, the process begins much higher up. The true control centers of the endocrine system live in the brain, specifically the hypothalamus and pituitary gland. These two structures decide when, how much, and which hormones are released throughout the body. After age 30, these brain centers become more sensitive to stress, sleep changes, and daily rhythm, which is why hormone effects feel stronger even when lab tests look normal. The hypothalamus, the master monitor. The hypothalamus acts as the body's monitoring system. It constantly checks stress levels, sleep quality, body temperature, blood sugar availability, emotional load. Based on this information, it decides whether the body should focus on survival or repair. When life feels rushed or unpredictable, the hypothalamus shifts hormone signals toward protection instead of rebuilding. Why the hypothalamus becomes more reactive after 30. For women 30 to 45, the hypothalamus is influenced by years of accumulated stress, irregular routines, poor sleep recovery, past dieting or overexercising. This makes it quicker to interpret normal life stress as a threat. Even small disruptions can lead to bigger hormonal adjustments. The pituitary gland, the signal distributor. The pituitary gland receives instructions from the hypothalamus and sends out hormone signals to the rest of the endocrine system. It releases messengers such as TSH to regulate the thyroid, ACTH to influence adrenal cortisol release, LH and FSH to guide ovarian hormone production. Think of the pituitary as the body's distribution center. When its signals are steady, the entire hormone network stays balanced. How stress and sleep affect brain hormone signals. Stress and sleep quality directly affect hypothalamus-pituitary communication. Poor sleep increases cortisol signaling. Chronic stress alters pituitary timing. Irregular schedules confuse hormone release patterns. After 30, recovery from these disruptions takes longer, so signals stay off balance for extended periods. Why hormone levels can look normal. Because the brain adjusts hormone output constantly, blood tests may capture only a moment in time. Hormone levels can appear normal even while timing, rhythm, and responsiveness are off. This is why many women feel dismissed despite clear symptoms. The issue is signal coordination, not hormone absence. Why brain signals influence the entire body. When the hypothalamus and pituitary change their output, thyroid metabolism shifts. Adrenal stress response changes. Ovarian hormone rhythm alters. This explains why one stressor can affect mood, energy, sleep, and cycles all at once. Doctor-approved ways to support brain hormone centers. Supporting these brain centers means supporting predictability, consistent sleep-wake times, regular meals, gentle stress reduction, avoiding extreme routines. These signals help the hypothalamus and pituitary send clearer messages again. The hypothalamus and pituitary act as the command center of your hormone system. After 30, they become more sensitive to stress and rhythm disruption. When these brain centers feel supported, hormone communication throughout the body becomes calmer, clearer, and more balanced. The thyroid and adrenals, energy, stress, and survival hormones. Energy problems are rarely just about food. When women feel constantly tired, wired, or unable to maintain stable energy, they often assume they're not eating right or doing enough. But in the endocrine system, energy is not controlled by food alone. It's regulated by a close partnership between the thyroid gland and the adrenal glands, and this partnership becomes much more sensitive after age 30. The thyroid, your energy regulator. The thyroid gland, located in the neck, produces hormones called T4 and T3. These hormones decide how quickly your body uses energy. They influence metabolism, body temperature, heart rate, mental clarity, muscle and tissue repair. In a balanced system, thyroid hormones help convert food into steady, usable energy, not rapid burnout. Why thyroid function feels different after 30. After age 30, the thyroid becomes more responsive to stress signals. Even when thyroid hormone levels are normal, stress can change how effectively T4 converts to active T3. This is why many women feel low energy, brain fog, or weight changes, despite normal thyroid labs. The issue is often thyroid communication, not thyroid failure. The adrenal glands, stress and survival control. The adrenal glands, located above the kidneys, release stress hormones, especially cortisol. Cortisol is designed to help you respond to challenges. In short bursts, it's helpful. But when cortisol stays elevated, energy becomes unstable. Sleep is disrupted. Digestion and recovery slow. Other hormones are suppressed. For women 30 to 45, chronic stress keeps adrenal signaling active far longer than it should be. How thyroid and adrenals affect each other. The thyroid and adrenals constantly communicate. High cortisol can slow thyroid hormone conversion. Low thyroid efficiency can increase stress sensitivity. The body shifts toward survival instead of repair. This creates a pattern where you may feel alert but exhausted, productive but depleted. Why this pattern is common after 30. With age, the body becomes less tolerant of constant pressure. Years of emotional load, poor sleep, dieting, or overexercising train the system to stay alert. The thyroid adapts by adjusting energy output, while the adrenals keep cortisol elevated to keep you going. This is not dysfunction, it's compensation. Why tests often miss this interaction. Standard tests often look at the thyroid or adrenals separately. They don't always capture cortisol's effect on thyroid signaling. Stress-driven metabolism changes, timing and rhythm of hormone release. So results may look normal while the system is strained. Real-life signs of thyroid-adrenal imbalance. Women often notice energy crashes after stress, difficulty relaxing, feeling warm or restless, brain fog despite adequate sleep. These are signs the body is prioritizing survival over restoration. Doctor-approved ways to support energy hormones. Supporting thyroid and adrenal health focuses on reducing stress signals, regular meals, gentle movement, stress management, consistent sleep routines. These supports help the system shift back toward balance. Energy after 30 is governed by how well the thyroid and adrenal glands work together. When stress is high, survival hormones dominate and energy becomes unstable. Supporting this partnership allows the body to move from constant alertness into steady, sustainable energy again. The ovaries, estrogen, progesterone, and female hormone rhythm. Female hormones respond to stress before they respond to age. When women hear about hormone changes, menopause is often blamed. But for most women in their 30s and early 40s, changes in estrogen and progesterone are not about shutdown, they're about rhythm and sensitivity. The ovaries are still working. What changes is how strongly they respond to signals from the brain and to daily stress. Understanding ovarian hormones helps explain why mood, sleep, weight, and cycles can feel different long before menopause begins. What the ovaries actually do. The ovaries produce two key hormones: estrogen, which supports metabolism, circulation, mood, and tissue health; progesterone, which supports calm, sleep, digestion, and recovery. These hormones don't stay at one level. They follow a monthly rhythm, rising and falling in a coordinated pattern that supports energy, focus, and rest at different times of the cycle. Why hormone rhythm matters more than hormone levels. Healthy ovarian function isn't about having high or low estrogen or progesterone. It's about timing and balance. When rhythm is stable, estrogen rises and falls smoothly. Progesterone provides a calming counterbalance. The nervous system feels regulated. After age 30, this rhythm becomes more sensitive to stress, sleep disruption, and blood sugar swings. Hormone levels may still be normal, but the pattern becomes less predictable. Why ovarian hormones change after 30. Several factors influence ovarian hormone behavior in women 30 to 45. Chronic stress and elevated cortisol. Poor or inconsistent sleep. Emotional and mental load. Past dieting or overexercising. Cortisol directly affects ovarian signaling. When stress is high, the body prioritizes survival over reproduction and repair. Estrogen and progesterone adjust in response, not because they're failing, but because they're protecting the system. How this shows up in real life. When ovarian hormone rhythm is strained, many women notice stronger PMS symptoms, mood changes that feel sudden or intense, lighter or less predictable cycles, sleep issues in the second half of the cycle, changes in appetite or weight response. These patterns are common signs of hormone sensitivity, not hormone loss. Why progesterone often feels low. Progesterone is especially vulnerable to stress. High cortisol can suppress its calming effect even when progesterone levels look normal. This leads to difficulty winding down, lighter sleep, increased anxiety or restlessness. After 30, progesterone's role in calming the nervous system becomes more important and more easily disrupted. Why estrogen can feel unstable. Estrogen is highly responsive to the brain and stress hormones. Under pressure, estrogen signaling can fluctuate. Energy and mood may feel inconsistent. Metabolic balance becomes harder to maintain. This doesn't mean estrogen is too high or too low. It means the system is struggling to regulate under stress. Why doctors often miss ovarian rhythm issues. Standard tests usually measure hormone levels at a single point in time. They don't show monthly rhythm, stress-related suppression, brain-ovary communication. This is why many women are told everything is normal while symptoms persist. Doctor-approved ways to support ovarian hormones. Supporting ovarian hormones means supporting rhythm, regular meals to stabilize blood sugar, stress reduction to lower cortisol, consistent sleep schedules, gentle movement instead of overtraining. These signals help estrogen and progesterone regain coordinated rhythm. The ovaries don't work in isolation. They respond to brain signals, stress levels, and daily rhythm. After 30, estrogen and progesterone become more sensitive, not weaker. When you support hormonal rhythm instead of fighting symptoms, female hormones can work together again in a calmer, more predictable way. How to support the endocrine system. Naturally after 30. After age 30, the endocrine system doesn't need extreme interventions or constant fixing. It needs clear, steady signals. Hormones respond to rhythm, predictability, and safety. When daily habits consistently support the brain gland communication system, hormones begin coordinating more smoothly again. This is not about perfection. It's about creating an environment where the endocrine system can do what it's designed to do. Morning rhythm. Set the system before stress takes over. The endocrine system takes its cues early in the day. Wake at roughly the same time each morning. Avoid rushing immediately into stress. Eat within 60 minutes of waking. Early nourishment stabilizes cortisol and insulin, which helps the hypothalamus and pituitary send clearer signals to the thyroid, adrenals, and ovaries. For women over 30, skipping or delaying food often keeps stress hormones elevated for hours. Eating consistency. Support hormone messaging. Hormones rely on reliable energy signals. Eat every 3 to 4 hours. Include protein, carbohydrates, and healthy fats. Avoid long gaps that trigger stress responses. Stable blood sugar allows hormones like estrogen, progesterone, and thyroid hormones to be received more clearly by cells. Consistency matters more than calorie precision for endocrine balance after 30. Movement improves circulation without overstimulating stress. Hormones travel through the bloodstream, so movement matters, but intensity matters too. Choose walking, stretching, or light strength training. Limit frequent high-intensity workouts. Allow rest days without guilt. Gentle movement improves circulation and hormone delivery without raising cortisol. Overtraining sends stress signals that disrupt endocrine coordination, especially in women 30 to 45. Stress regulation. Protect the control centers. The hypothalamus and pituitary are highly sensitive to stress. Practice slow breathing daily. Reduce multitasking. Create brief pauses between tasks. Lowering cortisol allows brain hormone centers to recalibrate instead of constantly compensating. Even small reductions in daily stress improve endocrine communication. Midday. Reset. Prevent hormonal overload. Stress accumulates quietly through the day. Eat before hunger becomes intense. Step away from constant stimulation. Take short mental breaks. These habits prevent cortisol buildup that disrupts thyroid, adrenal, and ovarian signaling later in the day. Evening routine. Signal repair, not alertness. Evenings determine whether the endocrine system repairs or stays activated. Dim lights early. Reduce screen exposure. Avoid emotionally intense conversations late. Eat a balanced dinner. These signals support progesterone, lower cortisol, and allow the system to shift into restoration mode. Sleep protection, where endocrine balance resets. Sleep is when hormone feedback loops recalibrate. Keep consistent bedtimes. Accept imperfect sleep without anxiety. Rest during the day if needed. For women over 30, sleep quality matters more than duration. Better sleep improves cortisol rhythm, thyroid efficiency, and ovarian hormone coordination. Why this approach works. This method supports the entire endocrine system: brain, glands, bloodstream, and receptors. It doesn't force change, it removes interference. When stress signals quiet and rhythms stabilize, hormones begin working together again naturally. The endocrine system thrives on consistency, not intensity. After 30, small daily habits send powerful signals that guide hormone coordination. When you support rhythm, nourishment, movement, stress recovery, and sleep, your endocrine system regains clarity and your body responds with greater balance, energy, and resilience. Conclusion. The endocrine system is not a collection of separate organs. It's a connected network designed to keep your body balanced and protected. After age 30, this system becomes more sensitive to stress, sleep, and daily rhythm, which is why symptoms often show up together instead of alone. Understanding how the hypothalamus, pituitary, thyroid, adrenals, and ovaries work as a team removes confusion and self-blame. When you support the system with consistent routines, nourishment, stress regulation, and rest, hormones communicate more clearly and symptoms begin to soften. Small daily habits create powerful hormonal shifts. When you work with your endocrine system instead of fighting it, your body regains balance naturally. Educational only. This is not medical advice. Thanks for watching.